As an inline skater, it is very necessary to learn how to turn. The reasons are very obvious. I'm however going to mention them anyway and show you 2 easy ways to turn on your inline skates. Welcome to day 7 of the 30-day beginner course, where I show you all the fundamentals you need to make you confident and get you skating in 30 days. In previous days of this series, we've touched on the fundamentals of skating. We've looked at how to move forward, how to stop, and we've particularly in day 6 looked at 5 fundamental edge control drills that will help you to master balance and control on your inline skates. It is guaranteed that practicing these drills will help you get very comfortable on your edges. That is why in this video, we are going to leverage the techniques that we've learned from day 6, because anytime you are turning on inline skate, you are using your edges. So this is very important. I'm going to assume that you've watched day 6 and you are able to be on your edges. You are very comfortable with your edges, because that's going to be very relevant. But before that, I'm going to touch on 2 main reasons why you should learn how to turn, even though they are very obvious. Then we're going to see the different ways that you can turn on inline skates, and we'll focus on mastering the 2 most basic but very relevant and very efficient ways to turn. Or there's a saying that the best skaters are not those who know many stops, but those who can maneuver their way very easily. And today, I'm going to make you that skater. Now, what are the reasons why you should learn how to stop? Obviously, 1, to avoid obstacles. No matter the type of skating you are doing, if you are skating in skate parks, you always have some kid on the scooter who is just, riding around and crossing you. So if you don't know how to turn, you injure that particular person. If you are skating in a crowd, you have a lot of people around. You need to maneuver through these people. If you don't know how to turn, that is going to be impossible. This is very obvious. Just to put it short, learning how to turn helps you to avoid injuring yourself, and most importantly, avoid injuring other people. Well, the second reason why you should learn how to turn is because it helps you to slow down when going downhill. This is very important, but most people don't really talk about it. Well, you see this all the time, especially with skiers. If you're going down the mountain, you see, you go left and right and do some carving, left and right, left and right. You can transfer the same thing to inline skating. If you learn how to turn, you can be able to slow down your speed when you're turning, because you're going from side to side, using your edges to help you slow down and all. This is very, very important. That is the second reason why you should learn how to turn. Now, what are the different ways to turn? There is 1, the weight balancing technique, which I'm going to learn today. There is 2, the scissored skate turn, which directly translates to a parallel turn, which I'm going to also learn today. There is a crossover forward, which I'm going to learn in day 15 of this series. And there is the final boss, carving, which I'm going to take a look at in day 21 of this series. Now, let's look at the very first one, which I call the weight balancing technique, because it's very obvious. What you're doing is you are shifting your weight from left to right, depending on where you want to turn. If you want to turn towards the left, then you're putting the weight on the right leg. If you want to turn towards the right, then you're putting the weight on the left leg. You see how I turn? How to practice this? Very easy. You are using the inside edges of your skate to do this. What you're basically doing is you are shifting your weight from left to right, depending on where you want to go, as I showed you earlier. What do you want to do now? You want to stand on the inside edges. If you watch day 6 of this series, you should be comfortable with going on inside edges now. However, if you're new to this channel, then give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. Then after subscribing, you can then go on to find something to hold. Like I always say, it doesn't matter what it is. You can get this small thing here to hold. It can also be a fence. Hold. Street light. Hold. Inside edge. Basketball thingy. Hold. Inside edge. Trash can. Hold. Inside edge. Tree. Hold. Inside edge. Leaf. Hold. Inside edge. You get a point. It doesn't really matter what you hold. Just hold something and practice getting comfortable on your inside edge. And once you're comfortable with that, all you need to do next is to just move slightly, then begin to shift your weight in this position. Begin to shift your weight. You realize that you are turning depending on where you put your weight. This is very, very straightforward. What is very important, however, is what you do with the free leg. I mean the leg that doesn't have the weight on it. So for example, if I want to turn towards the left and I'm putting the weight on the right, it's very important what I do with the left leg. Because if you don't keep this left leg on your inside edge, then you're going to end up doing something like this. You see what my leg is doing? If your skate is very edgy, then you end up in a position that you don't want. This skate that I'm having here is very, very flat. It's not rocket. It is just two wheels, so it's extremely flat. This is the best skate to learn this particular technique. It will help you to realize or to understand what to do with the other leg. So always keep your leg like this. Even if it has to be like this, it's very funny, but keep your leg like this if it has to be like this. What you need to know is that you have to be on your inside edge at all costs. So go forward, stay on your inside edge, and then turn. You see that you begin to turn a lot smoothly. If you, however, keep your leg either straight or on the outside edge, then you're going to end up in a very weird position. See what happened to my leg there? It's not moving because I'm not on the right edge. So always stay on the inside edges and the life will be a lot easier. So go ahead, practice slowly. First you do left, right, you go again, left, right. Then with time, you want to do it a bit more like a 180. You want to turn. So you go inside edges, try to turn a whole 180. Then begin to see what happens with your left leg, right? That is very important. So turn 180. This is very, very important. This can help you a lot. If you're going downhill, you can use this to slow down. You go like this to slow down. It is very, very effective. Now, let's take a look at the second way that you can turn, which is scissoring your skate and then just relying on the outside and inside edges. This is the fundamental to mastering parallel turns and carving, which I mentioned that we're going to learn in day 21. So it's very important that you take this here seriously. To be able to do this turn effectively, you want to scissor your skate. If you're following this series, you are very comfortable with scissoring your skate because we've talked about it a lot. In almost all the videos, we are scissoring our skate. So we are going to scissor your skate depending on which variant you want to do. There are two variants. The leg that you put in front is going to determine the direction in which you're going into. So for the variant 1, if you're going to the right, then you're going to put your right leg in front. If you're moving, however, I want to turn to the left, then you're going to put your left leg in front. With variant 2, it is the exact opposite. If you want to go to the right, then you put the right leg behind. If you want to go to the left, then you put the left leg behind. This is a bit more tricky, so I recommend you stay with variant 1 so you're very comfortable. Then you transfer the knowledge that you've learned from variant 1 into variant 2. Now, what is the basics over here? So like I said, we are going to scissor our skates. Then, just like we did for the first technique, we are going to learn to stand and balance on our edges because here it is very different compared to the first technique. The first technique where we use both edges. This time we are using the outside edge of one leg and the inside edge of one leg depending on which direction you want to turn into or depending on which leg is in front, like I mentioned before. So if you want to go to the right, for example, then you scissor your skate with your right leg in front and you're using the outside edge of your right leg and the inside edge of your left leg. If you ever want to turn to the left, then it is the opposite. You are using the outside edge of your left leg and the inside edge of your right leg. So I want you to stand this way, practice going outside this way. If you want to turn to this direction, you want to practice this particular way. Stand there, see how this feels, switch your legs, see how this feels. This is going to help you a lot. Like I mentioned before, get something to hold always. If you're doing this, you're very new, maybe you're not comfortable yet with scissoring your skate, so practice this. Trust your edges. This is all about trust. So if you can stand and do this, you can trust me, you can be able to turn a lot easily. Now, one thing that's also very important over here is to always stay low. This is extremely important. So now you want to be in motion, so you move a bit, depending on which direction you want to turn. If you want to go to the right, scissor your skate this way, with your right leg in front, you begin to shift your weight. You see that you begin to turn. It is very important to know where to put your weight when turning. If you are turning to the right, for example, then your weight is on your left leg. Most of your weight is here. The right leg is just maneuvering. The right leg is just directing where you should go. So it's directing where you should go, but most of your weight is on the back leg because you technically be sitting on the back leg. So you want to practice like this. You are sitting on the back leg and then using the front leg to really direct where you want to go and how deep you want to go. And the front leg is just supporting by relying on the inside edges and most of your weight is here. That is the point. So if you want to go to the left, your weight will be on the right leg. This way, you are sitting on the right leg and the left leg is just directing where you should go, right? Now, To make this a bit more intuitive for you, we are going to need an object. That is our next step. Plant the object somewhere in the middle where you want to go around. This is going to be our pivot point. This is going to be the point where you're going to turn around. You're going to use this object as your guide. So now select one direction. If I want to go to the right, I go, put my right leg in front, sit on the back leg, then I use the right leg to direct myself when I get here. So you basically turn your right edge this way, just slightly. See what I'm doing to my leg? Just turn it slightly. Sit on this leg, sit on the back leg, and then just turn your leg slightly. This way. Move your leg slightly. You see they begin to turn. Right. Again, see? Move your leg slightly. You begin to turn. And always stay on the inside edge of the back leg. Very important. Then you can do the same for the other direction. If you want to go to the left, practice this is very important. Do for both directions. I do it. Then you see that I go to the left. Then if you want to make the curve as tight as possible, what you have to do is to just shift the front leg inside a lot more. I go, shift the front leg inside a lot more, rely mostly on my edges, go deeply into your edges. With this technique, you have to rely and trust your edges. Your edges are your friends. This is how I trust my edges. I can be able to stand this way, be on my edge, on one leg. That is how I trust my edges. If you trust your edges this way, life is going to be a lot easier for you. Then it's also important, like I mentioned before, to stay low. If you stay low, it's a lot easier. Just look at this. If I'm not staying low and decide to do it like this, it's going to be a bit unbalanced and I'm not able to even turn that sharp. But if I bend my knees, see that I'm able to turn a lot more sharply and I'm more in balance compared to when I was standing tall. Or maybe short, I don't know. I'm not that tall. Then you can go on to experiment with variant 2. Like I said, it's a bit tricky. So, and it's not like really necessary to learn it, but you can experiment with it because for some people, it is good. But if you want to maybe use it for carving and other things like this, then variant 1 is enough. With that being said, you can extend variant 1 to do a parallel turn. So instead of scissoring your skate, parallel turn. So you want to keep your legs parallel. The same thing that's going to happen. Keep your legs parallel. Then you rely on both edges. See what's happening? Keep your leg parallel. They don't have to be completely parallel, but make sure you rely on the edges. You get what I mean? So it's something similar, just that this time your legs are a bit closed. And this is going to pay off if you want to learn maybe things like parallel slide and all these, fancy slides, like a hockey stop and all. Practice always. Put a lot of effort in it. You will get better in no time. I started skating somewhere in June 2024. That's when I got serious with skating. And after 2 years, I am making this video. So use my story as an example. It is possible to learn to skate in a very short time. Mine is not that short, but you can make it even shorter. So practice these drills, record your progress. Like I'm always saying, record your progress because this is very important. I did this myself and I saw huge improvement. I can also analyze what I'm doing and see if there's any way I can correct my mistakes, if I'm using the right techniques. Because when you look at yourself from a third-person perspective, you get a lot of information. And if you post these videos, you can tag me on TikTok or Instagram at Blaqskates with the hashtag Let's Roll 30. I wish you a lot of luck and see you in the next lesson.